So in this second video, I'm going to look more about the whole movement, form, and shaping of the string figures, especially about frame strings. This is very complicated, the whole subject, but this is just little thoughts I'm giving here. So the first one is using waves, a string figure from New Guinea that I learned there. And it's set up by putting in a far thumb string and a far little finger string. And then the hands move out of sync slightly, waving around these two strings, but keeping them strong. That's why they keep out of step a little bit. So the waves are big to begin with. Now the tide is beginning to go out, but one hand leads and the other one follows, and then doing what's known as a Caroline extension each time, until the tide has gone right out. And when it's right out, the hands are then switched. All the strings on the left hand are put in the same position on the right hand, and vice versa. And then by repeating identical moves, you can make all the tide come back in again. So now the waves are not so far away, you can see them coming closer. They're getting bigger until the big breakers come up the beach. And rather than just stopping where we started, they do one more move and you find there's a nice slack string. This next game is called Caribou from the Inuit people, and it's very difficult to make well, though the moves are not complex. And it's to do with the tensioning. You'll see that after that swinging move, the left thumb releases, but not all the way. It doesn't pull tight, but tight enough if you like. Then you have to lift one loop off, and this is a bit that really is tricky. Pulling the strings back, someone showed me how to do this. I could never get it quite right. Pulling the strings back just enough and releasing them so that it becomes a caribou and can run away across the hand. So this design is called Fireplace, and it's interesting because there is a frame string. I've slowed it down so you can see it. Frame string at the far little fingers and at the near thumbs, but they're going to end up actually in the middle of the design, and new frame strings are going to appear. And this is how it happens. The index fingers pick up the far thumb strings, and as they release the original frame string, so the little fingers do the same. And now there are two new strings which have become strong strings, if you like, frame strings, which by twisting the hands you can actually bring into play. And that's running not from one hand to the others normally, but from the thumb to the index and from the index to the thumb. And of course we can have a look and see what happens next. It's called Fire by bringing the thumb down this time and putting a half twist in and doing exactly the same movements as before, picking up the far thumb string with the index fingers and releasing the original frame strings. We have to make the half turn, but a bit more than that. You'll see just in a minute how we go. Make the half turn, but this time it won't open in a half turn. So the hands have to be kept in movement to get that strength, and you can see the frame strings coming into place there, and now they're finished. I find all this very fascinating. It's new to me, though I think many people have discovered this before. Okay, bye for now.